I want to ask you on camera, just so I won't come across braggadocious, cocky, arrogant, conceited, or ungrateful for the fact that the universe has been so gracious to me in my safety. Is there a way to announce accomplishments without being considered as bragging? Or if not even accomplishments, is there a way to tell a historical account of something to where it seems as if you came out on top or got the better, you did not take the L, you got the W? Is there any way for me to share that type of information without being considered as bragging?
I mean, I guess this would just be my opinion, but I think, I mean, this is the internet, man. So, anytime you kind of big yourself up, you could say, you're always gonna have some people that see it as you bragging, and you're gonna have some people that understand that you're just telling your story. So I mean, it comes with the territory, man.
It does, but you know what I appreciate about my personal experience? I'm not from way over there nowhere. I'm saying this hard to figure out if he lying though. I'm from a big old place where a whole lot of people occupied these same time frames and spaces and environments that I'm claiming to have been who I was. It's very easy to find the lack of honesty in these accounts. This is a very transparent, open, widespread range of Los Angeles and Compton that I'm telling you my experience encompassed. You see how vocal the internet is. Everyone has access. It would be very simple, easy to debunk a lot of what I was saying if it was not established and upon fact. If it wasn't founded on facts, you could easily blow plenty holes in a lot of what I'm sharing. It's just not capable to do that to facts. In order to challenge me, you have to be comfortable with lying and being dishonest and having a whole campaign that's based upon, bullshit. Because I was a successful fuck up. And that's what I find so ironic, that when you share your past and admit that you was a fuck up, people act like you bragging, because being successful in the environment I was successful in is being an underachiever. I went to hang out with the people who ditched school, dropped out, didn't do well, weren't respectful, delinquents, juveniles that caught criminal cases. I went to make them my everyday peers, and I was successful amongst them, and we were kind of committed to not doing anything correctly. Let's do everything wrong. Let's not try to do nothing right. And all I'm telling y'all, I was pretty good at that. And people act like that's a brag. I was a fuck up. I underachieved. Me personally, because of my mother, with her effort, I was set up to overachieve. And I went backwards. I traded fucking filet mignon for fucking bologna sandwiches, bro. And I'm not bragging about it, it's just my truth. And when the whole world happens to view that environment and that journey and that process as something to applaud for, although it isn't, and I happen to have gone through it, well, what most would consider successfully, they'll say I'm bragging, but I'm not, bro. I just be telling my real. If I was bragging, I would be putting way more details on some of the accounts. I feel very fortunate and grateful to have been able to live the person that is myself in the environments that I have, and been as careless and as reckless and as foolish as I was throughout the process. I feel nothing but fortune and gratitude for being here. That's why my shirts say, gratitude is the attitude. Jeter, constantly, ups, downs, ins, out. I have been living on literal borrowed time since I was 17 years old. I'm 46. When I was 17 years old, I made decisions to where I deserved life in prison. And I was found guilty, not found guilty, I was charged, arrested. I had crimes, multiple crimes, turned state evidence against me, threw statements against me. I threw my life away at the age of 17. And the universe, the creator. I'm gonna say God right now, because back then that's what I was calling it, God back then. And being guilty, I was guilty. I was guilty. I was not, and I didn't have to serve that time. I was relieved of that. And I feel like ever since then, 1993, I've been living on borrowed time. So anytime I get caught up in the regular world, looking at what I thought I wanted, what people thought I should have had, what I should have done, and I start feeling like dissatisfied, the universe just knocked me on the head. You threw this shit away with in 93, at 17, you threw it away. So everything is a plus. And it keeps me in the spirit of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Nigga could have just been getting out from that life sentence. Right now, I was in Huntsville, Alabama at the age of 17. Shout out to Cartoon from Fire Trade Avalon. I understand about going to Alabama, and as soon as you touching your feet on that motherfucking Alabama soil, you are incarcerated. It didn't happen to me as quick as it happened to the homie Cartoon within 18 hours. However, I went to Huntsville, Alabama to be a student at Oakwood College, which is now a HBCU. And it was a private school, and I went there to go into to school as a theology major. And before I was there 90 days, I caught 3 Class A felonies and was looking at life in prison. And imagine being 17 years old, walking in court, and this is what you hear. All rise. Madison County, state of Alabama versus Curtis Williams. Yeah. And I'll say the details of exactly how it all worked out for a later date, because I know I got to rambling on you. But yeah, I don't even know why I got on that story, Cam. My bad. Oh, my mama. But shout out Cartoon, because Cartoon is an individual who has made his presence known on the internet recently. He's from my region in general. However, he a G nigga, older than me. And he has relocated for the most part, to Alabama. He goes back and forth, show up and all that. However, when I first heard him tell his story about how he went to Alabama as a young LA nigga and got caught up, and he ended up doing like 23 years, I believe, on his case, which was a robbery, and one of mine was as well. I just realized like the creator was showing me what could have happened. And he had to walk that shit off from Alabama prisons, which ain't easy. It's a lot different than our system. And salute to Cartoon for going through that, but I don't think I ever shared this with him. That's part of his experience that made me really be able to relate with him, because I went to Alabama, thought I was the shit. Old Dog was popping back then. I had the Old Dog braids. They looked at me like I was Old Dog, and I got caught up trying to prove to them I was Old Dog. And I got some lyrics on some unreleased music that say, through the years I done made so many shitty decisions, it's hard to believe I'm still sitting in such a pretty position.